So, the Texas Democrats just took Cornyn's little FBI stunt and flat out shut it down. And now that whole MAGA intimidation play is totally backfiring. They literally left the state to block a Republican power grab, while Cornyn's out here trying to drag in the FBI like it's some kind of political muscle, and Paxton's tossing lawsuits around like confetti. Meanwhile, Christian Manuel is making it crystal clear they're playing by the Constitution, they're not breaking the law, and their constituents actually want them holding the line. And the fact that DHS is showing up at relatives' houses? Yeah, this is the kind of overreach that blows up in the GOP's face, and honestly, I think it's already starting to blow up in their faces. I am so proud of these guys. Let's watch the full clip, and then I'll give you my thoughts at the end.
The Texas State House is now adjourned until Monday as the Democrats' boycott is putting a wrench in the GOP's redistricting plans. Right now, Democrats who fled Texas are facing a growing number of threats from Republican leadership aimed at forcing their return. Members of the state's minority party say they have no plans to back down.
It is an outrageous power grab to try to appease Trump. And our breaking quorum is truly that. It is a stop on the clock.
We're not just fighting for our families in Texas. We're fighting for your families in Wisconsin, in Ohio, in Idaho, in California, in New Mexico. We're fighting for your families across the country.
And joining me now is Texas State Representative Christian Manuel. Welcome, sir. I'm glad you're here. First question. How long do you and your questions plan to hold out? Is there a date or is there an action by which you will return to Texas? And can I also just ask you, what are the challenges of living for an extended period of time like this outside of your homes?
We are planning on staying out for this special session. And the challenges, I think, are like for anyone else. Imagine just having to get up, first thing in the morning, packing clothes for 2 weeks and just getting out and then trying to figure out your businesses, your family life, your doctor's appointments. And that's where we really are. And that's why this is so important to us. We didn't leave just to go on a vacation. None of us are on a vacation. So it's been complicated, but it's worth it because democracy is so important to all of us.
I just want to ask if you've been made aware of or already feeling the fact, as we've reported, that apparently if you get direct deposit for your paycheck, they're not going to give it to you that way. You're going to have to go physically into Texas to pick it up.
Yeah. Look, let's be honest about it. We make $600 a month, and with our per diem, we all have to have another job. It's not enough money to sustain any of us. And also, we were already paid the first of this month. So that's something that's a long shot. It's far off. I don't think any of us are waiting on a per diem that we can't get anyway until sometime into September. It's a tactic that they're trying to use to put intimidation and fear in people. And I know for myself and as well as the rest of my colleagues, it's not something that we're depending on to live off of that.
Okay, got it. Let's take a look, just a very short list of the threats that you and your colleagues are facing. You have Senator Cornyn, who says the FBI has granted his request to help round up Texas Democrats. Texas Attorney General Paxton suing to remove 13 absentee Democrats from office. And the House Speaker announced, to my point again, being paid in person. I jumped ahead of the gun there.
Yes.
But how concerned are you about all of this?
I'm not concerned because the FBI doesn't have jurisdiction in this. And if we were to use the FBI to do something like this, that would be beyond egregious. That would be us literally breaking the law to break the law, which we are not breaking the law. This is a part of the Constitution that allows us to do this. So if this is how low this administration wants to go to use tools of government, especially against Black and brown people, which they've used for over 100 years, it's going to show more of who they are than we are, because we're staying within the confines of the law. They are the ones who are threatening to break the law in order to get people to do what they want them to do. And that sounds a little bit like something that you would do in Russia, not something that I thought we would ever be doing in America.
So you sound, steeled and ready to deal with this, but I'm curious your reaction to DHS showing up at a relative's home looking for Representative Claudia Ordaz, who was excused, by the way, for being in the chamber for personal health reasons. Here's what she posted. Harassing my family, spreading lies, and dragging my name into political games is beyond unacceptable. It is a deliberate abuse of power and an intimidation tactic. What is your response to that? They show up at a relative's house, and that's got to be intimidating for them.
Frankly, it's disgusting, and it doesn't make any sense. It is very sad because our families right now are dealing with the fear of not only themselves, but the fear of us, something happening to us, someone trying to harm us. And all of this for someone to get an extra seat in Congress because they feel that this is the right thing to do, which we know it's just uncalled for. And the last person who did it went to jail, Tom DeLay. So it's disheartening. It's sad. This is a time to bring down the temperature. I would hope that our colleagues on the other side of the aisle and people, frankly, on our side of the aisle who want to be just, unruly, that they would realize that we are fighting for what we believe in and within the confines of the law, and that they would learn to realize that you're putting other people's lives at risk, and you wouldn't want someone to do that to you. We would not do that to anyone. We would hope that they would have a little bit more civility than that. But I think all of our families are doing what they can to stay protected, as well as we are in the different places that we are at.
Christian, you said that you would be able to hold out, if you will, for the duration of this special session. Do you have a specific date on that? And how do you see this ending?
The special session is going to end on the 19th. And if we want to talk about how I see this ending, is we've already gained a win from this. The main part of this was to awaken the country. We are getting so much access to people across this nation who are waking up and saying what is going on. And also, more importantly for me, my constituency, the vast majority of my constituency, they don't want me to come back until this special session is over. They want me to ring the alarm bells, and that's what I'm going to do. How is it that it's more important for me to have a seat than for my constituents to have a voice? At the end of the day, it is more important that I am doing what my constituents ask me to do than it is for me to sit back and worry about myself and my personal privilege as an elected official. We will all one day be average, everyday citizens, and we will not always be elected. And that's what I'm here for. And I'm sticking out as long as my constituents are sticking it out with me. And my constituents want me to last until the end of this special session, which should be about on the 19th.
Okay, sir, I'm glad to hear all of this from you. Again, Texas Representative Christian Manuel, stay safe. Thank you so much for your time.
We will. Thank you so much.
All right, so wow. I mean, the first thing that jumps out, this goes way beyond normal political back and forth. This is open talk about using the FBI to physically round up lawmakers who disagree with you. Like, this is real. Senator Cornyn actually requested it. And the thing is, the FBI has no jurisdiction here. So what's the point? It's intimidation theater. It's flexing state and federal power to scare the minority party into compliance. That's Banana Republic stuff. And you can see Christian Manuel is spelling it out. These threats go beyond press releases. They target people's families. DHS showing up at a relative's house? That's the kind of stunt you pull when you want the message to get around that you can reach people anywhere. It's gross, it's dangerous, and it's exactly what Republicans pretend they're against when they scream about big government tyranny. Now, let's be real. This redistricting fight has been years in the making. The GOP has been building toward this through gerrymandering, through mid-decade redraws, through voter suppression laws. Texas is one of the crown jewels in that plan. You rig the maps, you keep power even when the voters shift away from you. That's why they're so desperate to force quorum. They can't lose the window to lock in those maps before 2026. And yeah, this traces right back to Trump's post-2020 obsession with rewriting the rules after he lost. The same energy that fueled the big lie is driving these state-level power grabs. And it's telling that Manuel keeps coming back to the Constitution, because Republicans are out here selling the fantasy that these lawmakers are breaking the law by walking out. Nope. It's a legitimate legal tactic when the majority is pushing something through that fundamentally undermines representation. You don't give them your presence, you deny them the quorum they need. That's a peaceful check against an abusive majority. What really gets me is how Manuel says their constituents want them to stay away until the session ends. That kills the GOP talking point that these guys are abandoning their voters. No, this is literally doing what the voters asked, holding the line to stop an undemocratic map grab. The Republicans just can't admit that because it wrecks the narrative they've been selling to Fox and the MAGA crowd. At the end of the day, this is about a party willing to bend and break every norm to keep control, and a group of lawmakers saying, nope, not on our watch. And honestly, the fact we're even having to debate whether it's okay to send the FBI after political opponents, that's a sign the rot has spread way deeper than just Trump. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. While you're down there, hit the like button and subscribe. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.